What if I told you that every living thing on this planet, from the smallest microbe to you, is using a set of ancient, powerful techniques to survive? Well, today, we're not just going to learn about them. We're going to master them. Let's dive right into this quest to understand our own inner energy.
And this really gets to the core of it, doesn't it? I mean, right this second, your body is doing millions of things you don't even think about. Understanding how it all works, well, that's the first step to unlocking the incredible power plant that you actually are.
So what are these life processes? The textbook calls them essential functions for survival. But that sounds kind of boring, right? Let's reframe that. Think of them as the 4 core techniques that every single living being has perfected over millions of years. And here they are: nutrition, respiration, transportation, and excretion. These aren't just words on a screen, they're the 4 fundamental pillars of life itself. We're going to break each one down. So consider this your training manual. Okay, first up, nutrition. Let's call it the energy intake technique. It's pretty simple, really. Before you can use any power, you have to get it in the first place. This is all about how organisms get their fuel.
So, when it comes to getting energy, there are basically 2 main strategies. On one side, you've got the creators, autotrophs, like plants. These guys are incredible. They're totally self-sufficient, just making their own food out of sunlight. And then there are the consumers. That's us, heterotrophs. We get our energy by, well, eating other things. Now, being a consumer, our method for absorbing that energy is a bit more involved. We call it digesting. It's this amazing internal technique our body has to break food down and pull out all the good stuff. Let's follow that energy on its journey.
Man, this process is just a work of art. It all starts in the mouth, obviously, then heads down the esophagus into the stomach, which is basically a powerful chemical bath. But here's the kicker: the small intestine. That's where the real magic happens. All those key nutrients get absorbed right into your bloodstream, and then the large intestine does the final cleanup. All right, so we've absorbed all those nutrients, but that's just raw material. It's like having gasoline but no engine. To actually use it, we need our second technique, respiration. This is how you unlock all that power you just stored away. So yeah, respiration is basically your body's power activation sequence. It takes that glucose, the sugar from your food, and turns it into usable energy that powers absolutely everything, from your muscles contracting to your brain having this very thought. And get this, there are 2 ways our body can do this. Aerobic respiration, which uses oxygen, is super efficient. That's your marathon fuel, why you can jog for a long time. Then you have anaerobic respiration. It doesn't need oxygen, so it gives you a quick, powerful burst, but it's not very efficient. That's why your muscles start to burn when you sprint all out. Now, to fuel that super efficient aerobic power, we need a steady supply of oxygen. That journey starts in the nose, goes down the windpipe, and into the lungs. But the real action happens in these millions of tiny little air sacs called alveoli. That's where the crucial swap happens. Oxygen jumps into your blood, and carbon dioxide jumps out.
Okay, so we've taken in the energy and we've released it. Now what? Well, we have to deliver it. That brings us to our third core technique, transportation. This is your body's incredibly sophisticated delivery network, making sure that energy and all those vital supplies get to every single cell.
I love these aliases because they just make so much sense. You've got the heart, that's the engine, just constantly pumping. Then there's the blood, which is the current, carrying everything: oxygen, nutrients, you name it. And finally, you have the vessels, the arteries and veins, which are the pathways that connect this whole incredible system together. And this whole transportation thing isn't just for animals. Plants have their own version too, with things called xylem and phloem to move water and food around. It just proves how absolutely fundamental this delivery technique is for any complex life. This brings us to our final and maybe most overlooked technique, excretion. Think of it as a purification ritual. Any high-performance system, whether it's a car engine or your body, creates waste. And to keep running smoothly, you have got to get rid of that junk. Yeah, excretion is way more than just, going to the bathroom. It is the essential process of removing all the harmful byproducts from all those chemical reactions happening inside you. Without it, our own systems would literally become toxic and just shut down. And different life forms have come up with really clever ways to do this. For us humans, the kidneys are the absolute stars of the show.
They're master filters, cleaning our blood 24/7. Plants are a bit more chill about it. They might just shed some leaves or seal their waste away in harmless resins. Two totally different methods, but for the exact same vital purpose.
All right, we have covered the 4 core techniques of life: how we take energy in, how we release it, how we move it around, and how we clean up the mess. So, time for a final test. Let's see if we can put it all together.
So what do you think? Have you mastered these techniques? Let's do a quick lightning round recap just to lock it all in.
And there you have it, boiled down to the absolute essentials. Nutrition is for getting energy. Respiration is for releasing it. Transportation is for moving it. And excretion is for removing the waste. Simple, powerful, and totally, completely essential to life.
And really, that's the ultimate lesson here. When you start to understand these fundamental processes, you're not just learning some biology facts. You're getting a deeper, more profound appreciation for the incredible, complex system that you get to live in every single day. Once you master the principles of life, you really do gain a whole new power over yourself.